Imagine walking into a classroom filled with bright-eyed children, each carrying dreams, hopes, and the promise of a better future. But what if, in this very room, some of these children are silently falling through the cracks? What if the very system designed to protect and nurture them is failing? In 2025, UK schools are facing a crisis, one that is hurting immigrant children the most. The shocking truth is this: thousands of immigrant children are being left behind, denied the education they deserve. And the consequences? They could affect not just their futures, but the future of the entire country. The UK has long been a beacon of hope for families fleeing hardship, seeking safety, opportunity, and a better life. Immigrant children arrive full of enthusiasm, eager to learn, adapt, and thrive. But the reality they face in schools today is far from hopeful. Overcrowded classrooms, overstretched resources, and a shortage of qualified teachers are putting immense pressure on schools. Yet the biggest challenge lies deeper. Language barriers, cultural differences, and inadequate support systems are pushing immigrant children into the margins of the education system. Teachers, overwhelmed and under-resourced, struggle to meet the diverse needs of every student. Many of these children come from traumatic backgrounds, dealing with the scars of war, displacement, and loss. And while some immigrant children manage to excel against all odds, many others are silently slipping behind, their potential wasted, their voices unheard in classrooms that move too fast and offer too little support. Take Amina, for example, a 10-year-old girl who fled conflict in Syria with her family. She arrived in the UK full of hope, but soon found herself lost in a sea of words she couldn't understand. In a classroom where the teacher is stretched too thin to provide individual attention, Amina's struggles went unnoticed. Her grades slipped, her confidence shattered, and she began to believe she wasn't smart enough. Day by day, she withdrew further into herself, fearing that she would never catch up. Then there's Raj, a bright boy whose parents work tirelessly long hours to provide for their family. Raj spends his days exhausted, juggling schoolwork and responsibilities at home. Without extra support or understanding, his talents remain hidden, buried beneath fatigue and frustration. His teachers see only his tiredness and missed assignments, not the potential waiting to be unlocked. These stories are not isolated. Across the UK, thousands of children like Amina and Raj are trapped in a failing system. Their dreams are fading, and with them, the hope of breaking the cycle of poverty and exclusion. The question is, why is this happening in one of the world's most developed countries? The crisis in UK schools is not just about funding cuts or overcrowding. It's about a system unprepared for the realities of modern Britain. English as an additional language, ELAL programs, vital for helping immigrant children integrate and succeed, are underfunded and understaffed. Many schools lack trained specialists who can address the unique academic, social, and emotional challenges these children face. Without these supports, immigrant children struggle to keep up, not just with language, but with the curriculum itself. The problem is made worse by rising xenophobia and discrimination that immigrant families sometimes face, which can create an unwelcoming and hostile environment for children. This adds layers of emotional trauma to the educational challenges, making it even harder for these children to succeed in school. The consequences of this crisis stretch far beyond the classroom walls. When immigrant children are left behind academically, they are more likely to drop out of school, limiting their future job prospects and increasing their risk of poverty and social exclusion. This is not just a tragedy for the children and their families, it's a loss for society as a whole. A society that fails to educate all its children is a society that undermines its own future. The skills, talents, and contributions of immigrant children are essential to the UK's economic growth, cultural richness, and global competitiveness. By neglecting their education, we risk creating a divided society where opportunity is reserved for some and others are left behind, breeding resentment and inequality. But despite these challenges, there are signs of hope. Some schools, communities, and organizations are fighting back. Innovative programs, community involvement, and government initiatives aim to bridge the gap. Schools are partnering with local charities and volunteers to provide after-school tutoring, language support, and emotional counseling tailored specifically to immigrant children's needs. Parents and teachers are working harder than ever to ensure these children are not forgotten, but these efforts need to be scaled up dramatically. It will take political will, increased funding, and a deep societal commitment to embrace diversity and inclusion. We must recognize that investing in immigrant children's education isn't charity. It's a smart investment in the UK's future and in the values of fairness and equality. The crisis in UK schools affects us all. If we don't act now, we risk a future where a generation of immigrant children grows up without the tools they need to succeed, and in turn, the UK risks losing the talents and voices that could help it thrive. If you believe every child deserves a chance, regardless of where they come from, then speak up. Support organizations working on the ground. Demand that policymakers prioritize education funding and inclusive programs, because the future of the UK depends on it. And if you found this video eye-opening, please like and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us raise awareness and push for the changes that immigrant children so desperately need. Together, we can make sure no child is left behind.